And the three of us got together to start and found Ronmap.
Yeah, but you expanded it well beyond that, because certainly you know enough to know what you don't know, and I understand that you've really attracted a internationally recognized group of experts to extend your own experiences and skill sets. Why don't you expand a little bit on the resources that you have at your disposal that have matured some of the proprietary applications that make up the platform solution that Ronmap presents?
Sure, absolutely, and you're right. It is an international effort every single day. But one of the organizations, probably the most important group, is a company called the CIRMA Group, and they're out of Eastern Europe in Sofia, Bulgaria. And they're the leader in the world, literally, in the science of ontology semantic extraction. And actually, Dejan Nenov, our founder, is a part owner in that organization as well. And that organization, for the last 15 years, around the world, has focused their science, their sort of artificial intelligence and their science around ontology semantic extraction, and all of their skill sets, primarily at the pharmaceutical industry, where managing large volumes of unstructured text and unstructured data to be able to collect that data, analyze it, and re-represent it has been their strength. And they're the leader, literally, in that industry. And Dejan was clever enough to recognize that we could take that science and point that science into the automotive space and leverage what they do to make life a whole lot easier for consumers and a lot better for consumers to look for vehicles, and of course also to make life a whole lot better for dealers. We also have a variety, a handful of social media experts that develop social media applications exclusively for Ronmap, whether that's Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, and these organizations work with CIRMA and work with our other creative development teams to create a variety of solutions that all get integrated into Ronmap. Rather than piecemeal them and sell them separately throughout the industry, we decided to make Ronmap a one-stop solution for consumers so that everything they need, sort of all the wood behind one arrow, is available for the consumer to make life easy for them. And in so doing, our philosophy, obviously, is that they connect faster, sooner, and more effectively with the dealer.
You know, and more importantly, I think you've definitely tied into the new social etiquette of the pull-push philosophy of the Internet. You know, the expectation in the past of dealers being able to deal with the philosophy on the Internet the same way they did in the real world, with radio, TV, and newspaper messages blasting out hard sell retail and, you know, buy or die philosophies that have atrophied as a result of the new virtual showrooms we're building. I think you've jumped into that vertical very aggressively by basically allowing the consumers to take the front seat in this car. Why don't you expand a little bit on the value of prioritizing the consumer's perception and use of the site, and then, of course, the reciprocal value that adds to the dealers that are smart enough to help them do it?
Yeah, you know, you touched on it, right? It's the old notion that you can use social media or social community or leverage your old thinking about advertising and messaging inside of social media. As a matter of fact, I had a blog post the other day, or just a sort of a minor post that said, you know, if you're actually thinking that you can use social media to leverage your advertising and marketing efforts, that's the second to the last nail in your coffin.
Yep.
It just really is. And social media or social communities, the idea is what you can give to a community, not what you can get from a community. And so we built Ronmap with that idea in mind. We built it with the consumer first, and we help the consumer do things that research, Phil, your experience, your listeners' experience would all agree that they do. Consumers like to see the options that are before them, and you know, geez, how many vehicles are out there? That's smart. They should do that. Consumers are smart, and the more we recognize they're smart, the better we align with them, right? And so, yes, they should see more options, more vehicles that are available. The other thing that consumers do today, they've been doing it since we were trading horses, is they compare one vehicle to the next. That, too, is smart, and we work hard to help them evaluate the choices, the features, the prices, those things that are relevant to the consumer. And then another thing that a consumer does, which is really a social media construct, not necessarily a new one, I guess it's a community construct, is the notion of markets are conversations, and they are. There's this great conversation in the automotive space between dealers and, of course, between consumers and their family and their friends. People talk about these beautiful, shiny metal objects that go 200,000 miles before they break down, right? People love their cars. They talk about them. They talk about their interests. They talk about what they're looking at. And so what we decided to do is make sure that that mechanism, that facility was integrated into